Coach, there's been a tough matchup for you over the last couple of years, and just watching the game, it didn't appear that there was any lack of intensity or energy on your part. It just the defensive effort for the Magic was very, very impressive in that first half, especially.
Yeah, they were extremely aggressive defensively against us, and that's who they are. They're big. They can switch multiple screens. They're physical. They rebound the ball well. That's their foundation. I thought they did a good job of coming out right away and just punching us right in the mouth. And, we dug ourselves in a big hole halftime. Better effort in the second half. We competed a bit better, but when we get down that big, our margin for error is small, so tough to make up for a 30-point deficit.
How tough was the matchup with both Banchero and Wagner?
They kicked our butts.
Well, it seems like teams that are known as kind of being tough this year, like for instance the Rockets, gave you guys a tough time with the Magic tonight. What does that really say to you?
We're soft.
We've asked you this multiple times. If you had the answer, you probably have given it to the team by now. But what steps can you take to move on from this?
Well, we have to walk into games with the mindset right away that we're going to attack and be on the same page, make sure our communication is there. And that's what I told our guys. Like, look, the lack of physicality, we look soft. And then when we look soft defensively, we stop sharing the ball offensively. Do we do it every game? No, but those are the inconsistencies that we're seeing.
Well, how frustrating is that part of it when you have a game like you did Tuesday and you come back today?
It's frustrating because we all know, and those guys know, they're great guys. They know that they can be better. We all know we can be better. And that's the frustrating part is when, you want to see our team string together multiple games in a row where we're playing at a high level, win or lose. Obviously, you're going into the game to try to win the game, but the first half versus the second half, that's a big difference.
A guy like Trey went from 26 seconds in the first quarter to about 8 minutes in the third quarter without even a shot attempt. And he's had those lulls like that during the season. Just from a coaching standpoint, what needs to happen to get him more creative in the offense and get him more open looks?
Well, he's got to be creative. Teams are guarding him. The best players, the best defenders are on him now. He's got to get accustomed to that. That takes more movement. It takes more screening off the ball. It takes more screening on the ball. And those are the things that we continue to watch and talk about as a group.
I know Zion got an early tech. There seemed to be a moment in the second quarter. I don't know if he subbed himself out or was that a normal substitution? What happened there?
Normal substitution.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys are officially eliminated from playoff contention tonight. Just for the remainder of the season, what can you leave with?
Well, our goal altogether is to continue to try to build momentum with this group. And, we've been doing a decent job of that. We've had some really good games, and we've had some games like tonight where we don't bring it for 48 minutes. So it's trying to build momentum, continue to attack the games. We'll get a look at, we're getting a look at Karlo, getting a look at some of our younger guys as we progress.
And from this point on, will you guys, will there be a little bit more consideration for some guys like CJ or Trey or Zion in terms of managing their minutes, just moving forward, just kind of not making sure they get too high?
Yeah, for sure.
Coach, whenever this does happen, it's always a toughness thing. It's always, getting punched and not swinging back. How frustrating does it get when you have to continue to preach to them to swing back instead of them knowing to swing first?
Well, it's more about being consistent in doing that. We have moments where we have games, we have several games where we're attacking from the start, and you can feel our togetherness, you can feel our communication, you can feel our toughness and physicality, and that bleeds right into your offense. Now you're playing aggressive offensively, you're getting stops, we're playing to our strengths. And then we'll have games like tonight where we don't bring it for 48 minutes, and we don't have the luxury to do that. And our margin for error is small. When we don't play up to our capability, this is what we look like.
With Zion and Trey specifically, there seems to be moments in the game when those two are in an action together, you really put the pressure on defenses, you're able to create some good offense. But then you're also having to balance the fact that Trey is someone that commands a lot of gravity as a spacer. So how do you balance the idea of putting him in an action with someone like Zion, or versus him spacing out and also creating space and letting maybe Zion ISO or CJ ISO or get others involved in the action? Like, how do you balance that?
Well, we don't really want to play in a ton of ISOs, number one. You know, we predicate ourselves off, you know, our ability to play in the open floor, drive, kick, ball movement, player movement. But, I mean, we go by, if it's working, we'll try to stick with it. If it doesn't, we try to move on to something else. All right, thank you.